Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, it's finally happening. I am entering a tournament. It's been a long time coming. It's fair to say it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Ace Face. Ace Face has found a fairly local tournament to me, and him and I are going to the tournament. It's not a pairs event, it's an individual competition, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So the tournament is on the 13th and 14th of August. It's called the Pompey Pillage. Just the printout. Really looking forward to it. My first ever tournament, as I said, so I have no tournament experience. I think playing Ace Face, who obviously is a massive tournament player, has helped give me a bit of confidence. I've been chatting to him, and he said, you know, the way I play and my knowledge of the rules and the game and my tactics and stuff, it would cope fine with that tournament environment, which I suppose really that's half of what I was not worried about. But one reason why I didn't do it was because the unknown, isn't it? But you know, the Ace gave me the confidence to think, yeah, I think I could probably do it, and I think it's an experience which I should experience, you know, something that I should do in my wargaming career as such. Even if it's just one tournament, I go, don't like it, never play again. You know, at least I've experienced it, and I think, you know, that can only be good for me. So, the reason I'm making this video really is just to let you guys know that I am obviously going to be doing a tournament, and also maybe to get some feedback from you guys in terms of what army I should be taking. Now, it is quite an interesting event because there are quite a number of restrictions, quite unusual restrictions actually, but it seems to work for their tournament. So when you're making your list, you get I think what they call battle points, and you get allocated 10 battle points to spend. And you can spend them in various ways. For example, if you take a Lord of War, that's X amount of battle points. If you take 2 of a kind, X amount of points. 3 of a kind, X amount of points. 4 of a kind, X amount of points. You can't have more than 4 units of the same. So that totally cuts out my 6 units of 10 flayed ones. So my flayed one list, I mean, I can take it. It's 1800 points, by the way, so even if I took the flayed one list, I'd have to cut down on something anyway, because my flayed one list is a 2k point army. So I'm thinking, what should I take? Now, I want to take an army that's easy to use. It's going to be my first ever tournament. It's going to be 5 games. I've only ever played 1 game in 1 day, so... Well, no, actually, I did play 2 games with Ace in 1 day, but not under any time restrictions. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to need something which I can... So A, I'm really confident about all the rules of my army, and B, that isn't too complicated. So I'm sort of shying away from Tyranids, because although Tyranids aren't complicated, you've got all the psychic powers in there, and potentially, unless I take Nidzilla, potentially a lot of models to move. So I'm thinking possibly not taking Tyranids. I'm thinking maybe Necrons, because Necrons don't have a psychic phase, so that's automatically reduced out. So potentially Necrons. Space Wolves. I was thinking of Space Wolves, because they do have a painting side of painting, almost like competition as such, best painted army, etc. I thought it'd be cool to maybe take my Space Wolves, maybe try and see how they do in the painting side. But I know obviously that I'm not going to get anywhere in the games with the Space Wolves because of the, you know, the 13th company restrictions that I've got. With no vehicles, etc. And of course I'm only playing with what I've got painted so far. So it depends what I want to go with, what attitude I want to go to the tournament. Whether I want to go with the attitude of going just for fun, take the Space Wolves. I know I'm going to lose. Try and get somewhere in the painting side of it, and just go and just have fun with the idea that I know I'm going to lose. Or do I go with an army? Maybe say, right, I'm going to go and try and win, or at least win a few games. You know, let me take my Eldar. You know. But if I go with the expectations of winning some games, then I might get disappointed if I don't. So I'm thinking maybe go with the idea of not winning, so just go for the fun, go for the experience, and potentially go with Space Wolves. Arguably, I could do that. So we got Tyranids, which I'm thinking maybe a bit time consuming, stroke not complicated, but you've got the psychic powers and stuff, so probably not them. Space Wolves are an option, but to be fair, I don't know that I want to go with the Space Wolves. I don't really know the rules 100%, and I haven't played many games with the Wolves, so probably not the Wolves. So the other option is, of course, Necrons or Eldar, and again, Eldar, I mean, arguably you've got all of the psychic powers, etc. Plus, what do I take if I go for Eldar? I'll use my mech list, but I'm not sure whether the restrictions I'm going to be able to do that. And then, of course, there's Necrons, and if I go for Necrons, well, what do I take Necron-wise? Do I take the Flayed One list, but maybe tone it down a bit? There's 4 of a kind, I think it's the maximum. So I could have 4 squads of 10 Flayed Ones, so then just work around that. Or potentially I could use the super flanks with the massive squad of warriors and then the 2 ghost arcs, you know, to regenerate the blob. So I could use that, or could just come up with something different. Or if the living tomb formation that I'm doing is ready by then, which it should be, yeah, I mean that should definitely be ready. I could take that, take my living tomb formation. So I've got lots of options. As I said, there are quite a few restrictions with this. What I'll do is I'll put a link potentially to the page of the restrictions, if I can do that. If not, I'll post the restrictions in the description box below if you'd have a look at, give you some idea of what I'm up against. Speaking to Ace about it, and Ace is also not struggling, but he's umming what to do, because the restrictions really are hurting his armies. It's hurting the Tau, it's hurting his Tyranids actually. With the formations and stuff that he normally takes, it would be very, very difficult to get in with the restrictions. So maybe from my point of view, if Ace is having trouble making a list, working out what to take, or using his highly competitive lists, not being able to use those in this, then from my point of view I'm thinking this actually sounds like it's going to be a really good tournament, because it sounds like you may not necessarily get those ultra competitive armies in there. There will be competitive armies, but do you know what I mean? Not that step that Ace takes with his armies, because of all the restrictions. So it's going to be fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts, what army you think I should take, etc. If you really want to go all out and make a video response for me, maybe sharing your experiences of your first tournament, what it was like for you, what type of army you took, etc. That'd be awesome. First tournament, can't wait. Thanks for watching.